Well, tonight we've got an incredible show. I'd never met this gentleman before. It's actually his first time here on The Miracle, and he's just incredible. And I tell you what, I sat there for the first show and loved every single second of it, and I guarantee you are too. This gentleman, he just lives and breathes just an aura of incredible talent, and you're about to witness it. Honestly, I don't want to spoil the show, so all I'm going to say is, are you ready for showtime? Please make some noise for the incredible Chuck Wagner!
Anything can happen if you let it. Sometimes things are difficult, but you can bet it doesn't have to be so. Changes can be made. You can move a mountain if you use a larger spade. Anything can happen, it's a marvel. You can be a butterfly or just stay larval. Stretch your mind beyond the fantastic. Dreams are made of strong elastic. Take some sound advice and don't forget it. Anything can happen if you let it. Anything can happen if you let it. You won't know a challenge until you've met it. Broaden your horizons, open different doors. You may find a you there that you never knew was yours. Anything can happen, raise the curtain. Things you thought impossible will soon seem certain. Though at first it may sound clownish, see the world more upside downish. Turn it on its head, then pirouette it. You reach for the stars, all you get are the stars, but we found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in. Anything can happen if you let it. Life is out there waiting, so go and get it. Grab it by the collar, seize it by the scruff. Once you've started living life, you just can't get enough. Anything can happen, it's official. You can choose the super or the superficial. Sally for the way we're steering. Obstacles start disappearing. Go and chase your dreams, you won't regret it. Anything can happen, anything can happen. Anything can happen if you let it. Thanks so much. Thank you for coming. My name is Chuck Wagner. This show is called Living the Dream, and it's the Broadway musical adventure of my lifetime. So thank you for coming and helping to share it. Now, my Broadway dream started when I was just a child with eyes full of wonder. I had a typical American childhood. Here I am walking my bunny like you do. And one of my most impassioned childhood dreams was one day to become a superhero. So when I was 6, with a little help from my mom, my dreams became unlimited. And then in 1968, when I was 10 years old and America thought that Paisley was a reasonable fashion choice, two things happened that changed my life completely. First, I went to New York. I saw the original Broadway company of 1776, and I fell in love with Broadway. And then that summer, my family took us on vacation to California, and we went to Disneyland. And there I learned Walt Disney's power of Imagineering, that if you can dream something, you can achieve it. Now, my theatrical adventures began in school, but my professional adventures actually started at a place called The Lost Colony. Anybody ever hear of The Lost Colony? America's oldest, longest-running outdoor drama. It was directed by the great Broadway director, Joe Layton. And there I fell in love with my wife, Susan. I was the heroic colonist, and she played the wife of the good Native American. And Joe gave me some great advice. He said, if I'm very serious in the business, I need to go west. And so I did. I went out west. I got accepted into the theater department at the University of Southern California, and my first show out there was a thing called Christopher, the first musical ever written by a fellow student at the time who would go on to great success, and his name was Frank Wildhorn. And we'll talk more about Frank later. But then, after I graduated from USC, I got cast on General Hospital. I was the old Mr. Quartermain's executive secretary at ELQ. Very exciting. And while I was an actor on the soap, it led to my first performance on a cruise ship. I was on the Love Boat. We did a musical review, and there, Susan got to come with me. It was so romantic that we got married at sea. 35 years ago this year. In water not that far from here, and if you look very closely, my best man was David Hasselhoff. And that's back when he was on The Young and the Restless. And soon after our wedding, he got cast as the Knight Rider. And not long after that, I got to live out my superhero dreams as ABC's Automan. Anybody remember Automan? Of course not. But I was a computer-generated superhero. It starred myself and my great friend Desi Arnaz Jr. And thanks to Automan, I'm one of the first actors in the world to be able to say, hey, I'm an action figure. I know, right? So I made my Broadway debut in a revival of the 1927 Rudolph Firmel classic, The Three Musketeers. And then after a couple of non-remarkable films, I got cast in a show we're going to take a little time in right now, Stephen Sondheim's Enchanted Into the Woods. Now I was, Susan was very pregnant at the time we did the tryout in San Diego, and my son Stuart was born just about the time we moved to New York for the opening. So for that year in New York, I was the Rapunzel Prince in the original cast, and Stuart was truly a Broadway baby. But then, after a year in New York, I was promoted for the national tour to the role of Cinderella's prince. Here's a look at Cinderella's family on the stage of the Amazon Theater in the national tour, and a little peek backstage with my prince and princess as we got to tour. It was very, very exciting. Now, I played both princes, and my favorite song from that show is Agony. So, I will sing both for you now. Did I abuse her or show her disdain? Why does she run from me? If I should lose her, how shall I regain the heart she has won from me? Agony beyond power of speech, when the one thing you want is the only thing out of your reach. High in her tower, she sits by the hour, maintaining her hair, blithe and becoming, and frequently humming a light-hearted air. Agony far more painful than yours, when you know she would go with you if there only were doors. Agony, oh, the torture they teach. What's as intriguing or half so fatiguing as what's out of reach? Am I not sensitive, clever, well-mannered, considerate, passionate, charming, as kind as I'm handsome and heir to a throne? You are everything maidens could wish for, and why do I know the girl must be mad? You know nothing of madness till you're climbing her hair, and you see her up there as you're nearing her, all the while hearing her. Agony, misery, woe, though it's different for each, always tends steps behind, always 10 feet below, and she's just out of reach. Agony that can cut like a knife. I must have her to wife. Now, part of my promotion for the national tour, I also got to play the wolf. A little bit different than Johnny Depp in the movie. Now, it makes me smile to think that for Hollywood, it took Captain Kirk and Captain Jack Sparrow to do what I did on the road. Look at that flesh, pink and plump. Hello, little girl. Tender and fresh, not one lump. Hello, little girl. This one's especially lush, delicious. Hello, little girl, what's your rush? You're missing all the flowers. The sun won't set for hours. Take your time. But slow, little girl, hush and hush. The birds are singing sweetly. You'll miss the birds completely. You're traveling so fleetly. Grandmother first, then Miss Plump. What a delectable couple. Utter perfection, one brittle, one subtle, one moment, my dear. Oh, just so, little girl, any path, so many worth exploring. Just one would be so boring. And look what you're ignoring. Think of those crisp, aging bones, then something fresh on the palate. Think of that scrumptious carnality twice in one day. There's no possible way to describe what you feel when you're talking to your meal. Granny might like a fresh bouquet. Goodbye, little girl. Hello. Oh. Thank you. Now, how many people saw the new movie, the Into the Woods movie? Well, if you're a fan of the old show, you know that a lot of stuff was missing, and one of the greatest songs in the show was cut from the film. So I will fill you in. The baker, having been granted the child that he wished for, instantly loses his wife to a vengeful, rampaging giant. And he's overwhelmed with the responsibility. He doesn't know what to do, and he gives the baby to Cinderella. He runs off into the woods, straight into the mysterious old man, who turns out to be his father, who had abandoned him when he was a child. And the old man says, "What are you doing? Running away? No more questions, please. No more tests. Comes the day you say what for, please. No more. They disappoint, they disappear, they die, but they don't. What? They disappoint, in turn I fear, forgive though they won't. No more riddles, no more jests, no more curses you can't undo, left by fathers you never knew. No more quests, no more feelings. Time to shut the door. running away. Let's do it, free from the ties that bind. No more despair or burdens to bear out there in the yonder. Running away, go to it. Where did you have in mind? You have to take care, unless there's a where you'll only be wandering blind. Just more questions, different kind. Where are we to go? Where are we ever to go? Running away, we'll do it. Why sit around resigned? The trouble is, son, the farther you run, the more you feel undefined. For what you have left undone, and more, what you've left behind. We disappoint, we leave a mess, we die, but we don't. Disappoint in turn, I guess, forget, though we won't. Like father, like son. No more giants waging war. Can't we just pursue our lives with our children and our wives? Till that happier day arrives, how do you ignore all the witches, all the curses, all the wolves, all the lies, the false hopes, the goodbyes, the reverses, all the wondering what even worse is still in store? The children, all the giants, no more. To me, that's Stephen Sondheim at his very, very best. So after Into the Woods, let's see, do we have a married couple up here, or are you guys just shacking up? No? You guys are married? Just shacking up? Oh, good for you. Are you guys married? Okay, bear with me for a second. One of the great blessings I had in my career was to play the practically perfect knight in Camelot, the musical. But what made this particular production so amazing is that I was knighted Sir Lancelot by Broadway's original Robert Goulet. I know. And so for the last quarter century, usually in concert, I sing this song to my wife, but if you don't mind, I'd like to sing it to you. And I apologize to you in advance. If ever I would leave you, it wouldn't be in summer. Seeing you in summer, I never would go. Your hair streaked with sunlight, your lips red as flame, your face with a luster that puts gold to shame. But if I'd ever leave you, it couldn't be in autumn. Seeing you in autumn, I never would go. I've seen how you sparkle when fall nips the air. I know you in autumn, and I must be there. And could I leave you running merrily through the snow, or on a wintry evening when you catch the fire's glow? If ever I would leave you, it wouldn't be in springtime, knowing how in spring I'm bewitched by you so. And thank you, Bob. Oh, I tell you, that is my favorite thing to do ever in the world. I gave her my key, you don't mind. So, not long after that production of Camelot, I reunited with my old friend, Frank Wildhorn, who, do we have any theater geeks in the house? That's the way it is in the world, too. I used to think everybody was into theater. Clearly not, but I'm doing my best to let you know that theater's where you need to go. I reunited with Frank in Houston, Texas, for the world premiere of a show where I created the eponymous title roles in Jekyll and Hyde. I know, that was pretty cool. And then, after it came to Broadway, I rejoined the grand experiment for the national tour. I'll always be grateful that I'm the first person in the world to ever sing this now classic song. This is the moment, this is the day, when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time, when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance,